The Nico Iamaleava experiment has failed miserably for UCLA football as they've fallen flat on their face this year.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, everybody, to this edition of the Locked On UCLA podcast. I'm your host, Zach Anderson-Yoxsimer. Thanks for making the show your first listen each and every day. It's free wherever you get your podcast, and it's available on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, download. Thanks for your support. It's your team every day. Welcome back, everydayers. Man, we're sitting here not even 24 hours later after the debacle that was the UNLV game. And UCLA, with this whole experiment, going out, getting Nico, getting all this national attention, and it's become an extreme disaster. As I discussed in the last pod, it's practically ruined Nico's college career. Maybe he'll resurrect it later in the season. I don't know. I don't believe it. Then you've got UCLA. Are they going to keep Nico for 2 years? Is this really a project you want to sustain? The vibe is completely off. Everything has switched totally around this UCLA program, right? Almost overnight, you saw DeShaun Foster, who went from very media friendly to I can't show you what's going on in practice to winning is going to be what brings the UCLA marketing in. Well, this is the complete opposite of that. This has been a complete disaster. Now, if you think about DeShaun Foster with his big home run swings, he went for the offensive coordinator in Eric Bieniemy. Huge swing, came up empty. Then he went for Nico Iamaleava. He's gone with the young offensive coordinator in Tino Sunseri. And it's just been a big swing and a miss, because UCLA has showcased the lack of discipline in week 2 of a team that is going to crater to the finish. They're just going to tank, it seems like. So it's going to take a masterclass for DeShaun Foster, a Heisman-level effort for Nico, if UCLA even wants to get close to sniffing a bowl, let alone winning a couple of games, let alone winning their first game. It's been absolutely disgusting to see what UCLA's done. You can lose to Utah, as embarrassing as it was in the Rose Bowl with more Utah fans and a very small crowd, but the way that it happened against UNLV, like, you just can't come out and get smacked by your opponent, and then all of a sudden you have your next opponent call you out, and that opponent, Amaris Brown, picks off Nico to end the game. Like, that's just like a double slap in the face. That is just the biggest "we don't respect you" of all time. And I don't think UCLA football, unfortunately, has been respected for a very long time. It's been clear. Big Ten rankings, national rankings, recruiting, being an afterthought. Chip Kelly has made the program an afterthought with the way he treated the head coaching position. Not the X's and O's, dialing up an offensive play here and there, the head coaching position. And then he led to DeShaun Foster, who has seemingly lost his way in a situation where I think the best case scenario for what UCLA should have done in 2024 was hire DeShaun Foster as the interim head coach in 2024, and then gone through the 2024 winter, searching for a new head coach, and left DeShaun Foster as the guy that can keep this team together, maybe earn him the head coaching job. But instead, UCLA went out and gave him the job. And then he went out and went a big splash with Nico and brought the whole crazy nonsense around him here with the re-recruitment of Madden, and then everything else, that the vibe is just completely off. Like, there's just something way wrong right now with UCLA. And maybe it would have been the same with Joey Aguilar. But you know what? Then it would have been pretty clear. It wouldn't have been as embarrassing, all right? It wouldn't have been as much as under the national spotlight. It would have just been a giggle here and there and forgotten. Now it's a glaring mistake. It is a laughing stock every week for UCLA, because every Tennessee fan is going to laugh and say, "We told you so." Every national pundit, "I told you so." Me, hopefully thinking that UCLA could get to 6 to 7 wins. Well, barring a miraculous finish, it would be something. And UCLA still nearly had that miraculous finish against UNLV in game 1, or in the second half in game 2, where they just dominated the second half against the Rebels. We can't forget they just dominated. But the first half was a clear just indictment of what this team is, the transfer portal, everything coming together with the new players mixed with new staffers, with the lack of ability to put this team into a cohesive unit. They're just not. They're lacking. Nico in this game, 255 yards, a touchdown, a pick, and we sacked twice. I was saying if UCLA couldn't protect him, they probably would lose this game, all right? And in this game, this is what UNLV was able to get, a couple of sacks. They were able to get a pick. It forced UCLA into a massive mistake late. The Bruins couldn't handle certain situations, dealing with the clock and moving the ball in time, being too slow. UCLA had 14 penalties for 129 yards, lost a fumble, threw a pick. Everything was just going absolutely bonkers in the wrong way for UCLA, which is not, by the time UCLA sees week 1 to week 2, how this should be going. Again, DeShaun Foster came and said it directly. You're going to see the most improvement from week 1 to week 2. Now, the most improvement we saw was from the first half to the second half. Go for it. Absolutely. They made a lot of improvements and a lot of adjustments that gave you promise. But the damage has already been done to the UCLA brand. The damage has already been done to Nico's career. The entire buildup has fallen flat. The air in the balloon, gone. The air in the room, gone. The vibes, the good potential, all gone. It is just absolutely frustrating to see that this is what it's become in week 2. That we're in the first week of September, all right? Just finishing it up. And we're already looking forward to a mid-October exhibition game against San Diego State. To complain about UCLA or get excited about UCLA when they plays the Aztecs in a public exhibition this time for McCronen's squad. It can't already be basketball season. Looking forward to Corey Close and the UCLA women looking to win that first championship in the NCAA era of women's college basketball with that super senior laden group. But right now, it has been an absolute dumpster fire for UCLA with what they tried to do. Go out, swing for the fences, and has fallen. I don't know. I was expecting Nico to hopefully come out and throw for 300 yards, and the Bruins could do a lot. Now, I will have a guest, Brian Smith, come on in the next pod, and he talks about the lack of success UCLA had early in that game. A lot of just kind of shooting yourself in your own foot. The inability to run the ball for pieces until they figured it out. The lack of vertical routes for UCLA to hit a guy going deep. And then Nico's overthrowing once each week a guy who's sprinting wide open for a touchdown and can't connect with him. It's just frustrating to see that your quarterback is your leading rusher, that he is, and it's like not like 100 yards. He's obviously super athletic, but leading rusher, like, come on. And he's getting it at 59 yards after getting sacked a couple of times, thrown for less than 300 yards. And just the intel, it's not good. There's a lot to be developed for Nico. And it's a huge reclamation project for Tino Sunseri to restore the image of Nico, what has already been damaged, how to fix the mechanical issues of him being a 6'6" quarterback, throwing a ball that low at the line of scrimmage to get tipped. He's 6'6", and the ball got tipped on the game-ending pick. How does that even happen? Unless you have a super monstrous D lineman, but the fact that it was low, tipped up, and led to a pick, and the guy who caught it was the one who was trash-talking you all week. This whole thing has gone to complete, utter garbage at this moment. Now, there's still 10 weeks. There are 10 games, more than 10 weeks left of this season, and there are winnable games down the road for UCLA. And this is not an athletic department that I believe, or a program as a whole, that would pull the trigger and just clean house. That's not what's going to happen for UCLA. Maybe at different places, would they do something? But at UCLA, there's no chance that we see some sweeping changes this early in this season. And they better come in with some energy, because New Mexico is a very losable game on a Friday night. Despite being, 14 to 15-point favorites this early, that is a dangerous game with there being no vibe in the Rose Bowl. And they're obviously, everybody's going to read the comments, hear what I've said, hear what you've said. So how can they turn this around? UCLA was able to turn it around just a little bit in 2024 and sprint to the finish. This will take something different. And the experiment's already just exploding and just burn it up in our face. And I guess, all the Tennessee fans, the Colin College of the world, everything, and everybody told us, this is probably what's going to happen. But it's been even worse than imagined. Worse than imagined. Now, we'll kind of dissect, is Nico's stock diving down? Is there salvaging the season? How is this going to hurt recruiting? And what is it looking like from the UNLV side of things, looking as an outsider perspective at UCLA? And then we'll obviously talk UCLA basketball. Those are the next few episodes on Locked On UCLA to kind of see what's going wrong in this program. What are outsiders' takes on UCLA as a whole? And the real simple answer is they're just laughing at us. The NFL season, it's here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. And you can use FanDuel, and you can love it because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. Maybe you wanted to get in on some action watching UCLA with the comeback, or seeing how UNLV jumped out and you wanted to hedge your bet. For me, I was completely wrong. So maybe you want to use your own judgment and go use that $5 bet as a new customer to go get $300 in bonus bets if you're a new customer. So go check that out. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now and visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. It's going to do it for us here in Locked On UCLA. Again, jam-packed week full of topics. Talking with Brian Smith. Talking with Jason Kelly, Chris Johnson, all sorts of fun guests to digest what's going on in the world of UCLA sports. You're not going to want to miss the next week of Locked On UCLA pods. It's going to be exciting, and we'll make the disappointment enjoyment somehow, some way, every day. Hands up, Bruins fans. 8 clap time, baby. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA. Fight, fight, fight. This has been Locked On UCLA. Zach signing off. Go Bruins.